Hey friends, thanks for clicking on this video. Welcome to Post to Post. My name is Neil. It is the weekend. Every Friday we do jersey concepts on the channel. I appreciate you being here. Disclaimer, this one's going to be a little bit quicker than some of the others. It's been a really busy week for me. I've got to take off here in a little bit, so I want to get this filmed and edited. So I'm going to try and, kind of rush through this one a little bit, but, we'll still get into the goods. We're still going to react to all 32 jerseys, have some fun here. The designer is Great Dane. Great Dane Designs, I think it is. Yeah, Great Dane Design. We've looked at his work in the past, he or she. It is awesome. I really, really like it. So I'm curious to see what they've come up with for this one. This series is called, or he's deemed this, what is it? Heritage Jersey Concepts. So going with a bit of a heritage theme. I don't know what that means. I have an idea, but, designers like to kind of interpret things a little bit differently. So I'm always curious to see what that is. Let's jump into it. Let's not waste any more time. We'll start off with Anaheim, and we're going by alphabetical abbreviation. Alphabetical. Oh my God, it's been a long week. Alphabetical order as far as abbreviation. Okay, for Anaheim's coming up. Ooh, okay. Well, I said designers kind of look at things a little bit differently, and to me, when I look at this, I see the heritage design as far as the striping, the angles, and stuff. But I don't think heritage when I look at this. I think maybe more of like a modern style design. It's obviously a combination between at least two jerseys. I guess it's the orange jersey, the alternate from the Reebok, and then now in the Adidas. And then obviously the original jersey that does use none of these colors, maybe other than the black, but we got the purple and the green in that original. I'm not sure if there's any black in that actually. This is nice. I don't see heritage like I said, but I do like this. Moving on, we got I almost said Phoenix Coyotes. I'm so old. The Arizona Coyotes, a cross between the previous home, I guess a little bit, the Kachina, and an updated kind of logo. Not bad at all. There's nothing I dislike about it. It's definitely heritage. I would classify this as heritage, even though that's still, it does feel a little bit modern at the same time. I do like this. Good start here. Next, the Boston Bruins. Okay, this is definitely heritage, a logo that looks a little bit dated in a good way. And then the shoulders, the rounded shoulders, that's typically something that we would have seen long ago, or 15 plus years ago or 15 years ago. Now there's a lot of the squared off shoulders, which I prefer, but I think for original 16, rounded shoulders are okay. Even used here, they look okay. Not my favorite Boston Bruins jersey that I've seen, but it is definitely heritage. Moving on. Okay, yes, the Buffalo Sabres. This I would definitely classify as heritage. That is a bit of a Winter Classic logo there. The striping on the arm, just the angle of it is a bit of a just maybe slight callback to the goat head jersey. What else we got going on here? Good colors. It's a lot of striping on the arms. I don't know if that's... You can't remove the bottom ones. I think it would look too awkward having them up there. But if you keep the bottom ones and remove the top ones, maybe that's a little bit too low. I think you got to keep both on. Not a perfect jersey, but it is a nice one. Okay, what? The Carolina Hurricanes with a very heathered style look here. I'm going to say... this one is going to be a miss for me. I'm going to say this one is going to be a miss for sure from two perspectives. Number one, it is not vintage in my opinion. I guess you could look at that heather look and think vintage, but in my personal opinion, it is not. That is not heritage. I would actually consider that to be quite modern. And then just the lightness, it just doesn't, I don't know. It's almost too much texture. There's so much like vibrant red and wonderful design in the logo and stuff, which is a bit complicated. You got the little angles and edges and stuff, and that, those two little flags, and then the shoulder patch up there. There's lots of curvatures and angles and whatnot as well, and you're balancing the black with the red. It's very visually kind of intense. But then you have that overabundant, very visual texture in the background. It's almost like it's like sensory overload a little bit with this jersey. So this one is probably going to be a miss for me. I don't see this being heritage. It's very interesting though. I like the risk, even though I don't like the jersey. I'm not sure if that makes sense. Next, the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is definitely heritage. We've got some off-white. We've got the cannon. We've got a possibly Ohio State outline. I'm not actually familiar with the shape of Ohio. Holding the numbers there. Stars along the bottom, keeping in trend with the brand. This is definitely heritage. This is nice. Okay, Calgary, we got a Blasty jersey, but almost like a combination between like the pedestal jersey and the Blasty jersey. I like this from the perspective of the striping on the arm stops here. It's at a bit of an angle. There's no colorization at the bottom of the sleeves. It's all black all the way down. But in the middle of the jersey, you've got the color down there. So you're like balancing the jersey from top to bottom by having the color in the middle instead of on the arms. If you left it blank in the middle and kept the color coming down the arms, it would still probably work. But I like the relationship between the stripe stopping at an angle and then almost starting again in the middle at the same kind of angle. I think that balances nicely actually. This is nice. I do like this a lot. Next is the Chicago Blackhawks. Beautiful retro jersey here. The black is something I would love to see them come back. A little bit of criticism along the bottom middle. I don't know if I'd have that red and white stripe as thick. I may decrease the size of both of those stripes, or maybe the white one in particular, by maybe like 4 times. Like, I want that white stripe to be pretty thin, I think. I'm okay with the red one. It balances nicely with the red stripes in the middle. I like the recolorization of the shoulder patch. This might be my favorite so far. I actually do like this one. I like the classic logo too. Moving on to the Colorado Avalanche, we've got one of my favorite logos, which is amazing. Striping is good. Shoulder patch is good. I guess this is heritage based on the logo. I feel like it's a bit modern as well. So good jersey, just not sure if it fits in the heritage, my definition of heritage. Next is the Dallas Stars. Wow, that's a lot going on in the arms. I think this one is going to be a miss for me. Just a little bit too much for me, personal preference here. And again, no right or wrong. I say that in all my videos. Everyone should like different things. It's all subjective. There is no right or wrong. I think there's just a little bit too much going on in the arms for this one. Next is the Detroit Red Wings. Again, a callback. We see this quite frequently actually in concept videos that I've done. It's a callback to the Detroit Cougars, that long ago jersey, and I think for good reason. I think it's because, well, maybe for 2 reasons. Number one, Detroit doesn't have a lot to pull from a brand perspective, but the other side is their original 16, and it kind of looks good. I mean, it really just comes down to that. It's not pretty, but it just feels so appropriate for the Detroit Red Wings. So I'm okay with this one for sure. The Edmonton Oilers, I guess maybe a combination between the old school blue one and then maybe like the current home or previous home, I guess, with the primary orange one. The shoulders being orange, I think, is okay. I think the white stripe around the shoulders is a little bit too thick, but other than that, just being nitpicky is nice. Next is the Florida Panthers. Okay, so original style logos or a variation of it. I like the shoulder patch up there. I like that sundial texture in that kind of goldish beige, whatever you want to call that, sandstone color in the arms and in the bottom of the jersey. I think that looks good. It matches that shoulder patch pretty well, and it feels very Floridian. This works. Next, we got the LA Kings, and this is, man, I like the color on the arms. I like that black is chosen as a primary color. It helps that purple and the yellow pop so well. I like the call out to the Los Angeles text along the bottom. A call out to a late 90s or early 2000s, mid 2000s jersey. I'm not exactly sure when that came out, but I like that. I don't like the logo. Yeah, I would say pass on the logo. I've just never been a fan of that one. Next is the Minnesota Wild. Wow. Okay, so we've got 2 conflicting logos in the middle here with the text and their actual logo recolorized, obviously. But it almost works. Like, I think it works because of the heritage vibes that I get from this jersey. The arms are very, very heritage with that kind of crazy repeating striping. We've seen that on the Montreal Canadiens Barber Pole jersey. We've seen that on, I think, the Toronto Arenas kind of do this a little bit, and one of their older jerseys, not the new one, but maybe an older one. I can't remember, but it's happened, and it does scream heritage. The off-white screams heritage. This simplistic font with it's not a crazy wild font. It's just a regular font, and that is something that you would see long ago, a heritage style, and then a simplistic version of the logo. So this kind of goes against a rule here where you want one primary element, or you want the biggest element to be like the primary element. You want everything else to kind of be secondary. Where here, I mean, you've got 2 primary elements, the text and the logo. Typically, for following rules, they fight visually. So this is a bit of a no-no, but honestly, it kind of works. I think this is my favorite so far, to be honest, which is a little against what I usually go for. But yeah, I like it. Good. I like the risk here. Next is the Montreal Canadiens, and wow. Okay, immediate impressions are, I like this because if you go back to this kind of brand of Montreal where they use that logo with the maple leaf as well, I think that was like around 1909-ish. So the C was a blue and a white brand, and then the maple leaf was used on a green and red jersey, I believe. So this is kind of like a combination between the two, if I'm not mistaken. Could definitely be mistaken. And it's an updated like version of both of those together with some striping in the background, a little bit of the Barber Pole jersey as well in there. And that's difficult to do from a Montreal standpoint brand-wise because of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Blue and white with a maple leaf. You know, you're really almost crossing the line here with this jersey. And a lot of people do in their designs, and it's a no-no. It doesn't work. But here, I honestly think that Great Dane did a wonderful job here. I think it really is... there's a lot of help, I guess, with the striping in the background. I think the additional red in the background really differentiates itself from the Toronto Maple Leafs. If I'm not mistaken, the Toronto Maple Leafs have never used red other than in text on any of their logos or any of their jerseys or designs. So this, even though this looks a little bit like the Toronto Maple Leafs because it's blue, primarily because there's some white in there, because of the maple leaf, I still feel like this is a Montreal branded jersey, and it's a great callback to heritage. Great design, actually. I really, really like this one. The Devils, a black jersey. This I don't see heritage here. I think this is a little bit modern. I think the way that the numbers are done too might get some flack from Rangers fans. You've got a team in the New York area, kind of almost mimicking the New York Rangers. The letter and the number designs. I think that's a bit of a no-no. I think they'd have issue with that. But to me, this is more of a modern design. Next is the Nashville Predators. Okay, so this is a callback texture-wise in the striping to, I think it was around 2010 when they used that jersey. It's seen mixed opinions. This is okay. The numbers feel heritage to me. The striping does, but at the same time, the logo in the middle doesn't quite feel heritage. It feels a little bit more modern. So it's an okay jersey for sure, but not my favorite. Oh, Fisherman on the shoulder. Fisherman in the waves. The waves are very pixelated. So I'm going to zonk the pixelated waves. I think we can do better there. The logo in the middle, a lot of people like to use this. It's not my favorite, but I definitely don't dislike it. It looks okay. I'd be curious to actually see if we took the wave or the striping in general off of the arms, kept it on the bottom, but put like a backing stripe in behind that logo. I think it would look much better on this jersey, but I secretly like that shoulder patch of the Fisherman. All right, moving on, we got the New York Rangers using red as the primary color here. Lady Liberty, it's a bit busy from a striping standpoint. The shoulders seem a little aggressive. The Lady Liberty, honestly, almost is like a secondary element here. I feel like the striping along the bottom and the middle and the arms and the top of the shoulders, they're just calling to me. I don't know if that's just me, but I find them very visually heavy. But it's definitely not the worst Rangers concept I've seen. I'd say like a 6.5 out of 10 for this one. Next is the Ottawa Senators. Absolute heritage vibes here. The shoulder patch for sure. The logo in the middle, obviously. The texture below the striping. The stripes in behind the logo. I think we're a little bit too aggressive on the texture on the bottom of the jersey in the middle. I'd probably just remove that. Keep it on the arms. Maybe make the white stripe along the bottom of the jersey smaller, or just remove it. Let the black breathe at the bottom. Let the black breathe at the top. Keep the elements in the middle here. Touch it up with the shoulder patches up there. We're good to go. This is a nice one. With some adjustments, I think it could be perfect. The Flyers. Wow, very heritage here. Maybe a callback to the Quakers, I think, used the striping, or similar striping like that to the arms. The recolorized logo on the shoulder, on the black, looks phenomenal, actually. I like the Flyers text on there, too. That looks good. I don't know how I feel about the number, but there's no number on the arm, which is an interesting decision. Number on the front, obviously there's going to be a number on the back. Very football. But it kind of works. I actually don't mind it at all. It's a little bit heavy in the middle. We got the A, we got the Flyers, we got the number. There's three things going on there, but not bad at all. Definitely one of the better Flyers concepts I've seen, and I would say definitely heritage. The Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm going to zonk the primary color of yellow. I think that should be black or something else, but I love the way that the logo is done, almost with a bit of digitally it's got a drop shadow on there, but if this was produced physically, maybe it would have like a bit of a black stroke kind of stitched in around there, which helps give some dimension to the backing stripe. So I like that Great Dane put that in there for some visualization, a sample, I guess. Other than the color in the background, good stuff. The Seattle jersey, I was expecting this. There's really only one decision you can make is based on the Seattle Metropolitans, and this looks good. I mean, two shades of blue. We've got some teal in there. We see lots of this. Okay, this is the most logical choice for Seattle. It's going to happen. at some point, for sure. Moving on to the San Jose Sharks, a black jersey. Okay, so we got the Heritage logo, or the original logo, I guess. I think this is Heritage for sure. I don't know about the neck, though. The neck doesn't feel too Heritage to me, but everything else is pretty spot on. A lot of white in the middle bottom, though. I might just kind of shrink that down a little bit. Let's move on. The St. Louis Blues, 2 shades of blue here. Is this retro? I mean, it is, and it is in a way. I feel like there's almost usually 2 shades of blue, nice shades of blue like this, work well together. But I almost feel like they're clashing here for some reason. I can't really put my finger on it, but this is like a 7 out of 10, I think. Next is the Tampa Bay Lightning. We got bolts coming down. So this is Great Dane's done a really good job of combining jerseys from different eras. We've got the Reebok alternate here with the bolts going down, but then we've got like a variation of one of the original style jerseys with the shoulders, the shoulder patch, a bit of the striping, using black as the primary color here. A great combination. I don't love the jerseys that use the font on here. I know some people do, just not for me, but it is absolutely heritage. Moving on to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ooh, like a 70s style colorization coming up, like mid 70s, 75 to 77-ish, with the colors here, the white rather on the shoulders coming down to the arms. The logo is obviously quite heritage with the Toronto font underneath of it. This is very like winter classic. I could even almost see like reverse retro kind of in a way, even though it's not really reverse, but it is absolutely interesting. I do like this one. Not my favorite, but I do like it. Vancouver. Okay. This is one of the silliest and craziest designs that we've ever seen in the NHL from any team. This crazy V that they had back in the, I don't even know when it was, late 70s, early 80s, I don't know. But it was nuts. It looked ridiculous, and it looks ridiculous now. It looks ridiculous on this jersey. However, sometimes ridiculous equals nostalgic. And when I look at this, obviously I wasn't alive during the time when I wore this, but it makes me nostalgic because I realize how retro and how heritage and old this is. And I think from that view, this absolutely works. Like, as a jersey collector, I'm going to buy this if this comes out. I know it's ridiculous. I know it's hideous even. It doesn't even make sense visually. Like, it looks like, what's going on here? But I have to have it. So I think from that perspective, yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm curious to see what other people think of this. The C, it's a really dark blue C on the green and on the white. It looks okay in the white, but on the green it gets lost a little bit. So, I mean, that's my only real criticism here. But, yeah, I like this jersey. Next, wow. Vegas Golden Knights. A very simplistic jersey here. I actually really like this. I love the fact that the shoulders just are allowed to breathe. No shoulder patch. Just a black, a very, very, this is a two-tone jersey. Black and gold. And kind of mimicking that old Las Vegas Thunder theme, which is translated again to the reverse retro with a bit of the angled coming down. The texture in there is beautiful. I actually really, really, really like this jersey a lot. Very simplistic jersey. I think it would look good. I love the fact that Great Dane put the gold metal fleck texture in there as well, going that extra effort in the design. I appreciate that. Next is the Washington Capitals. Okay, so this is very plausible in the sense that they like the W logo. It's on their alternates. The shoulders are very like Winter Classic kind of. Remember that burgundy jersey that they had? I think their shoulders were like that there, not colorized like this, but the stars on the arms, they've used that, and on previous jerseys as well. We got the blue, we got the red, we got the white. I think this could work. It's a little bit busy, but it is heritage, and I do like it. And the last one, I think, is the Winnipeg Jets. Yep. So, wow. This is almost a combination between, 3 jerseys. The Aviator jersey, which is the light blue one from the last couple of years, the Adidas years. We've got the Winter Classic, I guess, in a way, from the gray, the amount of gray that's being used. And then that heritage-style jersey, which is a callback to one of the original jerseys with the striping on the arm. The shoulders are maybe, I'm not sure what jersey you could pull that from, but I think this would be a great jersey without the planes and the shoulders. And as an aviation lover, I don't know if I've ever said remove the planes, but I find them distracting, actually. Maybe if they were white, they wouldn't be as distracting, or gray, but being red, I do find them a bit distracting. Not my favorite I've seen so far, but it is quite interesting. I tell you what, I already know my favorite. I don't have to think about it. The Vegas one is second, okay? The Vegas one is second. I really like that one. What else? The Montreal Canadiens one was great. That's not my favorite, but that's probably third. My favorite's going to be the Minnesota Wild, and I tell you why. I think I talked a little bit. What? I think I talked a little bit about this earlier, where there's rules, right? So you want to follow, whether it's graphic design, whether it's painting, whether it's photography. There's rules that you generally try and kind of adhere to. And jersey design, or maybe just in brand design in general, you want there to be a primary element. Like for, I don't know, maybe you're doing, what's a good example? You're doing a billboard, okay? And you've got maybe like a visual element, maybe it's a beach or something, and then you've got text. Maybe like a big giant text, maybe it's the name of the beach or something. Well, are you going to want to show the beach and then put the name of the beach, maybe the specific address, the time it's open? Like you don't want to busy it up, right? You want there to be one main element. So you got the billboard, it's a beach, beautiful beach photo in the background, but then boom, the biggest thing on there is the name of the beach. And you know, that's what you kind of go for. You want there to be a primary element. And it's the same with jersey design. So when I look at this, I think, hey, this breaks a rule. But sometimes rules are made to be broken. In art, in painting, in photography, in jersey design, in branding, sometimes you can get away with breaking one of those rules. And I think this is a good situation because it brings you back to a time, a heritage time, when maybe those rules didn't exist. And they made silly decisions like put 1,000 of stripes on arms like this, and just it looks silly. It looks like a jail's uniform, but that's what it was like back then. So I think Great Dane used a really good example, which happens regularly, of breaking a rule for the right reason, and this is perfect for that from that perspective. And also, I like the general like thematic of this as well. The off-white, the simplistic font. I talked about all this earlier. I like the risk that he took here as well. That's another reason why I chose this as my favorite. I would say, actually, most of the time, I don't like when people take risks. But sometimes it pays off. I think it pays off here. And I said this early in the video, in all my videos, I don't think I'm right. This is my opinion. You can have your own favorite, and that's totally fine. There is no right or wrong. We do this for fun every single Friday on the channel. That's what I love about this. I like looking at your work from the community. Great Dane, thank you so much for submitting your work. And if anyone out there wants to try their hand at designs, well, I can help you out a little bit. If you go to sportstemplates.net and you want to get that exact same template that we saw in this video, I can help you save 10%. If you can use code POST2POST, that's going to save you 10% on this template and any other template on the site. It doesn't even have to be hockey. It could be soccer, baseball, football. It doesn't really matter. There's all kinds of templates on the site. You use code POST2POST, save yourself 10%, come up with some designs, a full set from a full league. I don't even care what template it is. Send it in. Details on how to do that are down below in the description. Send it in. I'll add it to the queue, and eventually I'll make a video about it. Either I'll rank it, I'll react to it, or I'll review it. We'll have some fun with it. Would love to see your work. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, or if you like jerseys in general, if you like hockey in general and you're new, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We'd love to have you on board. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and tell me down below what was your favorite jersey from this video. Have a great weekend, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Adios.